Hey guys, it's Alicia. Welcome to another What's for Dinner on WW. I'll be showing you what we had for dinner this week, and I will be giving you my points for these meals. But as always, I will have either links to previous videos that I have done on these recipes down below where you can find the ingredients and instructions, as well as links to my recipe builder. And then you can find out what your personal points are for these meals. Or if I haven't done a previous video on one of these, I will put the full list of instructions and ingredients down below, as well again as a link to my recipe builder. But let's jump in here and see what we had for dinner this week. First up is taco soup. Now I love this one because it is really easy and quick to put together. It is a meatless soup, but you could add meat to this if you wanted. This starts off with a large pot, and to that pot I add a little bit of chicken broth from the chicken broth that I'm going to be using later. And then I add in some chopped red onions and just cook those in there until they are softened. And the reason I use a little bit of broth in there is so that I don't have to add any oil to this, and those onions will cook in there without sticking at all. Once those onions are softened, you're going to pour in the remaining chicken broth, 2 cans of diced tomatoes, a can of corn that I don't drain, a can of kidney beans, Great Northern beans, black beans, and fat-free refried beans, and finally a little taco seasoning. Now on the beans, I don't typically drain or rinse them first. You can if you want, and sometimes I do, but typically I don't. So then I just stir all this together and let it cook on a low heat until those beans kind of break up and get incorporated into the soup. Once this is cooked for a little bit and those refried beans have had a chance to break up and get all incorporated in there, and the soup is all nice and warm through, I go ahead and add a handful or so of chopped cilantro in there, stir that in, and let it cook for an additional couple of minutes, and then it's done. Here is dinner tonight. Now I've got 2 cups of that taco soup. I have it in the recipe builder as a cup as a serving for 1 point, but 2 cups is still only 1 point for me because almost everything in this soup is a 0-point food for me. So I've got 2 cups for 1 point, and then I added a little fat-free Greek yogurt to the top of it, as well as a little more cilantro. So my soup total is 1 point, and then I'm also having one of my cornbread muffins, and those are 2 points for me. I'll have the link to that video down below too if you want to check out those. They're very good. We had them last week too. I just made up a full batch, and I will freeze them and then just kind of pull them out. So 3 points total for dinner tonight, and this dinner is really filling. That soup is so filling with the beans and stuff, so I really like it because of that, and for me it is a super low point recipe. Next up is taco bubble up. I love the bubble ups. I made one last week too, if you didn't see that video, for a cheeseburger bubble up. But this taco one is probably my favorite out of all the different ones I do. I just really love the different flavors that are going on in this one. It starts with a pound of lean ground turkey, and this was giving me a little trouble because I didn't get it out in time to be fully defrosted. Let me know if you guys do that too. I am always not getting my ground turkey or whatever out in time, and it's always frozen when I'm trying to use it. So you're gonna start with this, and you're gonna get this browned. Then you're gonna add in some water and taco seasoning, stir that together real well, and let it continue to cook in there for just a couple minutes or until some of that water has evaporated. Now I'm gonna add in a little bit of garlic and some chopped bell pepper and chopped red onion. I usually add in green onion to this too, but I ran out. I'm gonna just stir that in and let that cook for a few minutes until those veggies start to soften a little bit. Then I'm gonna add in a can of rinsed and drained black beans, a can of enchilada sauce, a can of rotel, and then I'm gonna just stir all of that together real well. Next, I'm gonna add in some low-fat cheese and stir that in real well. And once I've got that all stirred in, I'm gonna add in my 2-ingredient dough that I've made up, and I've just cut that up into little pieces, as you can see here, And I'm gonna just take that and drop it down into my mixture. And then I'm gonna just mix it all together real well to get that dough kind of evenly spread throughout. I'm gonna spray a 13 by 9 inch pan with some cooking spray, and then I'm gonna pour in my mixture into the pan, and I'm going to spread it in there evenly. Then I'm gonna bake it uncovered at 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. And at that point, I'm gonna top it with some more low-fat cheese and put it back in the oven uncovered for another 5 minutes or so until that cheese is melted. And it looks like this. And here is dinner. Now that is a serving, which is 1/6 of the total casserole, and it is 11 points for me. Now that is a little bit high. You do gain a veggie point with this, and that's before I added any of the veggies that I put on top of this. I probably actually gained another veggie point with the lettuce and tomatoes that I put on here. But before toppings, it is 11 points plus the 1 earned veggie point. So for toppings, I did go ahead and top mine with a little bit of shredded lettuce, some chopped tomatoes, a little more cilantro, and I also topped mine with some fat-free Greek yogurt and some slices of avocado. Both the Greek yogurt and the avocado are free for me, so none of the toppings added any additional points. So my dinner tonight was 11 points total. Next up are ham and cheese sliders. We really love these, and I've been making these quite a bit lately. They are not the lowest in points, but we love them so much that I find a way to make them work within my points for the day because they're just that good. They're also really easy to make. These start off with Hawaiian rolls. Now the recipe that I'm gonna link down below in the description box, I show making 12 of these, and this time I'm gonna be doubling that because I wanted to have some for dinner, and then I wanted to have some to freeze for later. These freeze really well, so they make kind of good make-ahead meals, and so that's what I was doing this time. So you're gonna start off by putting your Hawaiian rolls on a, in this case, I use cookie sheet. You can use a baking dish, whatever you wanna do. I like to line mine with foil, so it just makes the cleanup a whole lot easier. So you're gonna then cut the tops off of them, and then you're gonna put some ham on them. And then on top of that, you're gonna put on some cheese. I used both Swiss and Velveta slices, and both of them end up being the same point, so it doesn't really matter which one you use out of those two anyway. And I like to kind of mix it up, but I do prefer the Swiss, I would say, over the Velveta. I do want to add that that Swiss cheese is light Swiss cheese. Once you've got the cheese on, you're gonna go ahead and put the tops back on, set those aside, and then work on your butter spread. So here I've got some melted Brummel and Brown. That's kind of my preferred light butter spread that I like to use. And to that, I'm gonna add a little bit of bagel seasoning, onion powder, Worcestershire sauce, Dijon mustard, some minced garlic, and then I'm gonna just whisk that all together real well. Then I'm going to take a basting brush and just kind of brush this on the tops of all my rolls. Then I'm gonna cover it with foil, and I'm gonna let it set for about 10 minutes before I bake it. But after that 10 minutes, I'm gonna bake it for about 15 to 20 covered. I then uncover it and let it cook an additional 5 to 10 minutes until the cheese gets all nice and melted, like you see here. And here is dinner. I'm just having one of those because these are 6 points a piece, which again is a little bit high. It didn't used to be when I had 30 points, but now I only have 16 points a day. So 6 points is a good chunk of that. So I'm just having one. And then along with that, I'm also having some cut up veggies. I've just got some cut up orange bell pepper, some baby carrots, and some celery there. And I'm just eating that plain because I don't want to add any more points. So my dinner total for tonight is 6 points. This was also the week of Thanksgiving, so I thought it would be fun to just show you what we had for Thanksgiving. This is in no way WW friendly, but I just thought it'd be fun to throw in some footage of what we had for Thanksgiving dinner. We did sushi this year. Typically we will do the whole turkey dinner, but we just decided to do something a little bit different and do sushi. So this is what we had for Thanksgiving dinner. As far as the points, I have no clue. This was definitely a cheat meal or a no track day, so no clue on the points, but it was very good. But that was everything we had for dinner this week. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully it gave you some ideas. As I said in the beginning of this, I will have links down to all the videos for these meals that I've done previously. And in those videos, description boxes, you will find the full ingredients, full instructions, and links to my WW recipe app where you can find the points for yourself. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.